welcome back. In the last video we ended with the upper intake manifold, and so that's where we're going to resume on this one, and then after the upper intake manifold's on, we'll go ahead and start installing the all the accessories on the front of the motor. Let's get started. Here is the torquing sequence for the upper intake manifold. It's a two-step process. First, turn all the bolts in this sequence to 89 inch-pounds, and then an additional 90 degrees. Okay, the upper intake manifold, it's going to be a two-stage torque sequence. First of all, we're going to do all the bolts to 89 inch-pounds, and then an additional 90 degrees. Okay, now for the second stage, we just go an additional 90 degrees on each of these in that same order. Okay, now we can plug in the idle air control valve and then the throttle position sensor. On the other side, let's go ahead and plug in the PCV valve, and then pull the tape off this brake booster, and then plug in this check valve. Next we can plug the fuel line back in. I put a little bit of silicone here on these O-rings so it's helps slide in easy. Just clicks in place, and then put this keeper on. Now we can go ahead and put in some more of this EGR hardware. We also have these two hoses from the EGR sensor. There's a small diameter and a large diameter hose. We hook right here to the EGR pipe. We'll push that on, and that one on. There we go. And back over on the driver's side, we have a couple of vacuum hoses here to hook up. Alright, now we can hook the coil pack back up. And one of these has a little stud on it, and that's going to go in the upper right hand corner here. And then in the lower right hand corner, don't forget to hook the FM noise suppressor up. Goes right in here. And another bolt here. And now we can plug it in. Okay, now we can plug our plug wires back in. And we have them labeled here. Start hooking up the throttle linkage, and here's a little keeper that goes onto this stud here. Push that on. There we go. And back over here on the passenger side, we have another vacuum tube here to hook up. Push that on, and now we can do the throttle linkage here. we go. I put on the tensioner and AC compressor bracket. I got a bit ahead of myself here. I should have put this bracket on prior to putting this EGR bracket on, because the stud that goes into the top part of this actually is a mounting spot for this. So anyway, we'll pull this off first, then put this tensioner bracket on, and then reinstall this. Okay, with the EGR valve out of the way, we can now reinstall this tensioner and AC compressor bracket. Now we can reinstall this EGR valve. Now we can reinstall the AC compressor. Now we're ready to reinstall the power steering pump. First install this stud. Goes in the right side here. It's a 7 mm. And also be sure that you plug in your oil pressure sensor here before you reinstall this bracket, otherwise it's very difficult to get to. Alright, now let's put it back in the power steering support bracket. Now we can reinstall our power steering pump pulley. This is a press-on fit. Get that started there. Take our specialty tool, thread it in. Then remember to plug in the connector for the AC compressor. Alright, let's go ahead and reinstall the alternator. Okay, before swinging the alternator back in place, you have better access at this point to plug in all your connectors. Now we can swing the alternator back in place and then finish bolting this in. And reinstall the serpentine belt. And we'll reinstall the coolant reservoir. Okay, now we'll connect the overflow hose and the upper radiator hose. Now we can reinstall the air intake. I just went ahead and reinstalled the exhaust, and now about all we need to do is put the battery in. And then we'll try starting her up. Alright, have everything buttoned back up here. I haven't added coolant yet or transmission fluid, but I'm going to try starting it and see if she turns over. now that the engine's running smoothly once again, that pretty much concludes this project. I did go ahead and put the hood on the car, filled the coolant and the transmission fluid, took it around the block, and it ran perfectly. So hopefully I'll keep my eye out for another project car that would be interesting, and hopefully I can start another video series sometime soon. Till then, see you next time. Bye.